So it's been a while.
Has it?
It has been. The last time we talked was right after the Vancouver game last Tuesday,
The 11th.
the 11th. And in between, we've had 4 games. Yowza, 4 games in that time. Uh, let's just start. Friday the 13th. Do you believe, or are you superstitious? Do you believe in that Friday? I know you don't believe in hockey superstitions, but that whole Friday the 13th thing doesn't bother you?
Um, no, I mean, I kind of took I kind of took like the scariness away from Friday the 13th, and I made the number 13th like a good number. So
Oh, it's a good number for you. Okay.
yeah,
Hey, it's whatever you make it.
exactly.
Exactly. That's life. Life's what you make it. So let's make it rock. I learned that from Hannah Montana.
I love it.
You could tell I had a daughter around that time. Okay, so Friday night, this was a home game. Weird that there usually aren't home game Friday night games in Pittsburgh. Winnipeg 4, Pittsburgh 1. This was a game where there was no, in addition to no Letang or Petrie, there was no Pedersen due to illness. And Tokarski played in net because it was a back-to-back because they had Carolina the next game. God, there is just not a whole lot to say for this. I mean, there were only 20. I think the Penguins only had 23 shots on net. I don't know. I don't know if it's because of the Penguins are too depleted or Winnipeg's too good, but this wasn't even close. What do you think?
Oh boy, I'm just taking a look at my notes here. I was trying to pay attention to our speed or lack thereof. I noticed that, well, we've talked about it quite a few times, that our team is quite aged and we can't seem to compete in this highly speedy league. But I did notice that O'Connor and Kapanen are are faster players. They've got wheels, O'Connor and Kapanen. And the O'Connor's goal came off the fact that Kapanen and O'Connor have speed. So that's something that we need to kind of keep in mind moving forward.
It was a beautiful thing. I believe Kapanen caused a turnover and then had a beautiful feed to O'Connor. That's something you just love to see. I mean, it was just a beautiful play all around by everyone.
Oh,
It was really good.
absolutely. I was off out of my seat on my feet. I was like, it was alive.
Really nice.
What else? Smith is becoming one of my favorite players on the team. Love his energy. He does make some mistakes, but he's young and it's okay. But he kind of adds this youthful glow to the team that we lack severely, and I do enjoy him. He plays with a lot of passion and ferocity. I spelt that brutally wrong, but I know what I meant. And I like him. I see we got to rely more on our youth here.
Yes.
Something that we don't have much of. And I did take a lot of notes about Sydney in this game. Like he had no shots on goal, and he's just not playing well. Like our top line lacks any connection. I know we did have something in a game we'll talk about later on, but it's really dull. Like, what are your thoughts on our top line?
I think the top line lately has just been ugh. The second line, looking awesome.
It's our best line.
Definitely best line. But the top line, something's wrong with Crosby. He just has not been right for a week or two now. I don't
I'd
know
say
what's
longer.
going on. Yeah.
I know he got a 3 assists last night, but that's neither here nor there. We'll talk more about that when we get to that game. But he's been completely off, like lacking shots on goal. Like my notes here are he's got no follow through. He gives up to him easily on the play. It's not the Sidney Crosby we know and love. And you know, like you look at him on the bench, he seems like he's in the zone, but then he seems like he's completely mentally elsewhere. It's really hard to watch. It's really, really hard to watch because we know what he's worth. We know what he's capable of, and it's frustrating. That being said, we can talk more about that as we go through the other games. One thing I noticed in this game was kind of a insurgence with Zucker. Now he fought Brendan Dillon. It wasn't much of a fight, but it was a really bad fight, actually. I'm sorry, I don't want to laugh though.
But I mean, this
was like this kind of like coming out party of Zucker that we've seen. Look, I'm going to pronounce it right because he has.
You know what? He's earned it. Congratulations,
our
Jason
best
Zucker.
Player, hands down.
You have earned a correct pronunciation of your name. Congratulations, Mr. Zucker. You have earned it. Definitely.
He's our best player.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he's amazing. And on top of, I mean, fights are fights, but he's just physical and just getting more physical in general, which is,
and he's having
really
fun
cool.
too. Like you've seen that little moment he had with, what was it, with Joseph and Potash before last night's game. He's having some fun out there, and that is a big factor. Takes the pressure off. Now I will go over it a little later. He is making a lot of errors too, but it's okay because he's also making points. So I'm not going to be so hard on you when you're making errors, but when you're scoring goals and you're doing all the right moves, I'm going to lay off you on the errors. It's when you're making errors and that's all you're doing. But a good friend of mine, Gabe, has been saying, you know, he's so valuable to this team, and I'm just like, right. And this was earlier in the season and like last year, and I'm just like, I wasn't really sold on him. But right now I'm team Zucker all the way. Like he's phenomenal, and if he keeps this up, and hopefully the team can kind of follow suit. But I'm not seeing it, and it's not enough. But right now I'm loving it. It's absolutely great to see it. And I mean, I think Jason ended up having back-to-back fights that game and then the following game, which was great. I mean, I'm a fighter. I'm a lover, but in hockey, I'm a fighter too. So.
It's better to be not going to be a lover in hockey I want Jason Zucker to fight people and hit people, not try to kiss them. But anyway.
Well, we all know in hockey that a good fisticuff will spark, you know, some excitement in a game. And something too we've noticed is that the Penguins seem to only come to life in the last 5 to 10 minutes of the hockey games lately. So
this is correct.
Yeah. That being said, this game, even though we did lose 4-1 to Winnipeg, it was our most limited with errors. We only had 4 turnovers and 7 missed shots in that game. But we didn't play very well. Another note I made was Sullivan with his lineup, and I know we have some players out. I didn't like it. Like I said, second line can't be, you don't need to touch it. I know everybody thinks the first line you can't touch. I say tear it apart. Tear it apart. Who cares if you move Gensel and Rust around? Who cares? It's not working. Move it around. It's like we've said this before in earlier podcasts. Now is the time to do it. You can't do it in late March. You know, like we're dancing on the line of playoff spot, not playoff spot. Like the Islanders aren't much better, but who knows? They can come to life, and we can just. It's now or never, and it's frustrating. And I remember I told you I lost sleep that one night, and I was looking at all our ages. Like we have 13 players over the age of 30. We've got 8 players between 26 and 29, one that's going to be 30 and what was it, May, and then 4 players between 22 and 24 years old, not including Gruden, because he just joined the team. But it's like, I couldn't wrap my head around it. I was just like, I went into this zone where I'm like, whoa, how do you fix this? But there's still hope for this team if, okay.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
One thing I've heard over and over again is, well, the top 6 is okay, but the bottom 6 is a disaster. I've heard this so many times, and we'll talk about it because it's just such a. but yes, that was your homework, was to try to fix the team, because the person whose job it is to fix the team, the general manager, I don't know, does he not show up to work? Is he doing that what the kids are doing now, quiet quitting? Is he stuck in a bathroom? Because sometimes you just get sometimes you pretend you're working, but you have to go to the bathroom and you're there for a couple hours. Maybe Ron Hextall is just stuck in the bathroom. I don't know, but I know one thing, he's not doing his job. So you or someone else has to do it for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Did you want to talk about turnovers and missed shots for this game?
Yeah, like I said, it was the lowest we had. Like I said, we had 4 turnovers, one being our goalie, which was Tokarski, and 3 by players, and we had 7 missed shots, 1 from different players, no repeat players on that. It was our lowest night, so 11 errors in total, which was really good, really, really good. But we didn't really play well. So
No.
I don't know.
No, it was just I mean, Winnipeg's not bad. Winnipeg is
no, they're not bad.
They're big, and they're I mean, they're in first in the Central. That's a good team. So
I know we have some bigger guys on our team, but we don't look very big up against Winnipeg.
No.
And I mean, in size.
No.
I know we've got Gino and Carter, which are bigger guys. But
we might be a big team, but we don't play big. That's for darn sure. So
no, I don't think we're very big.
No. I mean, I think that's one of their problems. So the next night they go to Carolina. This was a 2-1 game, and really it was a 2-0 game, because that goal that Raquel scored was a complete fluke by the goalie. They had an extended 2-man advantage late in the second period and failed to generate a goal. 2-man advantage, 5-on-3, and you can't score.
I went crazy during this game. I don't know.
I don't blame you.
I literally went absolutely nuts during this game. This is Carolina. I think they're second overall in the league.
They are.
I should check that.
They are. Well, they're first in the Metro, and they're
second overall in the league. I just go overall because just as a basis, right?
Yeah. No, you're
right. And they swept us for the series. We went 0-4 against them.
0-4.
I think we went to overtime 3 times. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think 2 actually.
Twice?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, we pushed it. But like you said, we put that goal, whatever. My first note is no changes to the lineup. Dumoulin back on the first line, or first pairing. Everybody's all over Dumoulin, hating him. He's not our worst player. I'm going to say it, but he does not deserve to be on the top pair. He doesn't at all. I know Pettersson's been out with an injury, but this is a chance that we could bring up. I still want to see Smith and Joseph together. I think they could be a dynamic pair. I don't know what Sullivan's problem is. I don't understand it. I don't know what he's afraid of, or who's, calling the shots. Is his bench. He should be running it more effectively. But he's not. He's like, and what we'll see going over the next few games is it's like our our deep pairings are just absolutely laughable because there's much more you can do with these, but they're just not. And going back to what our top two lines are fine, they're not. Our first line is absolutely stale. It's disgusting. Sure, we've got Sidney, one of the best hockey players to ever play. He's not playing the best hockey he's ever played. In fact, he's playing the worst hockey he's ever played. And it's hard to watch. Him and Gensel have no chemistry. Rust has had his moments, but he's been pretty, he's been playing pretty, here or there. Like he's got a good night and then kind of not so good. Anyways, it's stale. They're stale. There's no chemistry. I don't like it. It's not working. I want to see something else. Anyways, the Hurricanes were so finely tuned. They were like watching this like a ballet, like just dancing across the stage. It was so beautifully executed. Everything. I was so impressed with how well connected they were and disgusted at the same time because we were not. It was like, what are we watching?
That had to make you so happy because that's something you've stressed so many times with the Penguins is they're not connected, they're not communicating, they're just not together, they're just like a collection of individuals. And then you see like a team like a Carolina that's like a finely tuned machine, and you're probably thinking that's how it's supposed to be.
Oh, as a coach, I was like, oh my gosh, like I was sitting on the end of my seat going, I want this all day long.
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking like, Penguins, do you not see this? Look at this. Sullivan, are you seeing this? Like if I was at that game, I would have been losing my mind. I've been like, Sullivan, look, do you see that? Like I would have been losing my mind. And even in my notes, I'm like, Pens need to take cues from this. They're connected as bleep. It's beautiful to see. Sullivan, look at this. Like my notes are whatever, but the Pens did start with more energy in this game. I did make a note of that. Oh, I went off. And then I made a note again with regards to Sidney, no follow through. He's not on his game. He's not following through on his plays. And then the Canes score.
Yeah. The top line is a problem. They didn't give up a goal, but they gave up 10 scoring chances. That's not good. Not good.
Disassemble that top line immediately. I don't care whose feelings are going to get hurt. I'm sorry, Jake. I'm sorry, Russ. Sidney will stay in the center. I'm sorry to everyone else on the team, but he's the captain and he's one of the best ever play on the planet. He stays there. But Jake and Russ, if your feelings get hurt, play better. Play better. If one of you gets demoted to the third line, or both of you gets demoted to the third line, I'm not here for your feelings. You're paid a lot of money to do your job. Like this isn't daycare or kindergarten where I'm here to spare your feelings. You're paid to do a job.
Exactly.
And I don't understand why night after night Sullivan isn't seeing this. Like who's you know what? It's so frustrating to me. Whoever's sitting there saying, oh, give us another night, we'll get it together tonight. And if it's Sidney saying this, stop it, please. Because at the end of the day, what's happening here is we're just getting worse and worse. And every loss is affecting every player on this team's mentality. So every time they step out on the ice for that next game, they're holding on to last night's loss, their last game's loss. And that is not helping them, because you know how I preach about the mentality of the game. Okay. So you carry on that loss. You cannot improve your game when you're holding on to last night's loss. You can't. You need to build off wins. That's how you get better. That's how you build. It's how you become stronger as a team. This team is getting weaker. And it's frustrating to me because you see them come to life in the last 5 minutes, but we're going to see that same kind of performance in the last 3 games of April or whenever the last couple games of the season are, and it's going to be too late. And then you're going to see them come out again in October next year with that desperate play. And then it's going to be the same crap because we've signed these old players and it's just the same mentality for the last 6 years, So it's like, is anyone else paying attention to this?
What are the chances? What are the chances Jake Ensel gets taken to the second or third or fourth line?
No, the second line can't touch.
Right.
Second line cannot be touched.
So you're saying he could go to the third line?
I don't care. They need to mix it up for now. And it doesn't have to be permanent. It's just to have some fun. Move it around, have some fun, take the pressure off them.
My point is
play with some other players just to see what can happen.
Yeah.
Just like a practice.
The chances of that actually happening are little to none.
Which is insanity.
It is insanity. And when you know that, when you know no matter how poorly you do, nothing's going to change, then you could do whatever you want. And that's what we're seeing. It's
no
not
one
just
likes
Gensel,
to lose,
it's Russ too.
Okay, well, let's just keep doing the same thing over and over again and continue to lose.
And that's what we're seeing over and over. Nothing changes. And it's like you said, because we don't want to hurt feelings. We don't want to hurt feelings. And this is what we get.
I don't know. I'm starting to think that I'm the only one that in this organization that cares about Sydney's legacy, because I care about it for some reason. I don't know. And I want to see him win another cup or two. But this direction we're going with this coach, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And for any of these viewers or listeners, just take a look at my Twitter feed, because I tend to be going a little bit more crazy after each game. You saw me last night. Like, I went nuts. This lack of Sullivan's need to bend with this lineup is a problem. It is a problem. Feelings aside, this is a professional sport and a business. We're not winning with what we're doing.
No. And it is maddening. It is maddening and it's frustrating.
What was the most upsetting thing from that game? When Brent Burns beat Sydney on the face-off.
Yeah. What was that? Wow.
I thought I woke up in a different dimension, or like an alternate universe.
The announcers were going crazy over that. They're like, "What?"
I was like, what's happening?
What is happening? Yeah. One theory I've heard is maybe Crosby played too much earlier in the season. Maybe it's wearing on him. I doubt that, but
no, I've been watching his game. He doesn't appear to be hurt. I can kind of tell when he's kind of nursing an injury. I think this is mental.
You think it's mental? Yeah.
I think it's mental. But when Raquel did score, we had a hockey game. We had a hockey game.
2-1. It was you're down a goal.
We had a hockey game though. They came to life. We had a hockey game. Where was that energy from that first puck drop?
It is a common theme. There's a maybe sometimes the first few minutes of starting the first period, and then it just goes to crap, and then at the end, and then the last 5 minutes of the game, they're on fire. Where was that the whole game?
Gates fire blazing, puck drop, win that, and let's go.
Yeah,
because whoever's listening, face-offs are very important. Friend of mine, Bruins fan, they rely heavily on face-off wins. And checks notes. What place are the Bruins in?
Oh, have they even lost? I think have they wait, let me Google this. They have 5 losses, which is disgusting.
They have nine in total with 4 overtime losses. Yeah. But nine losses out of 44 games.
That's disgusting.
Boston, here's the cup. It's just
seriously.
Season's over. Yeah. Here you go.
There you go. Just award it right now. There you go. Yeah, so it's just so frustrating. So that was Saturday.
But wait. Errors.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We had 29.
What?
14 turnovers, 15 missed shots.
Okay.
So if we cleaned up our accuracy on our shots, we might have won that hockey game.
What was it for Winnipeg? 7-4.
Yeah. Four turnovers.
You went from 7-4 to 14-15. So you doubled, almost tripled them.
Well, they played more. They were more engaged against Carolina.
Yeah.
But this is a problem. Like, the accuracy of shots is important. Another factor is important. And turnovers, like being connected and communicating on ice, is important. Zucker, I have passing. Zucker, sorry, but Zucker, he made a mistake here. So I'm going back. The Don Cherry. I'm channeling my inner Don Cherry. Zucker passed right in front of the opponent's net to an opponent.
That's surprising because he's been really good at driving to the nets.
So
and
it's just
and
like,
scoring.
You've got to communicate out there. So 29 errors in a 2-1 hockey game. I mean, 15 missed shots. Clean that up. That game would have been ours. Got to work on accuracy. So my takeaways from this game, and my takeaways from every game: clean up the shots, clean up the shots, clean up the shots, and clean up the lineup. And take Sydney a little bit.
The Penguins, if they make the playoffs, better pray to whatever God they believe in that they don't play the Hurricanes in the first round, because they're not winning that. They're not winning that series.
Oh, they're not.
Oh boy. So now we go to Monday night at home, game I was at, against Anaheim. Okay, here we go. We have our nice stretch of games against lousy opponents. The Ducks are in last place. In the Pacific, they are, oh my God.
They were in second last when we faced them overall.
Second last overall. They're in there are rumors that they are tanking on purpose to get this Bedard guy. Which is funny because it's a lottery, people. It's not like the last, the last team is guaranteed to get the first overall pick.
Yeah, they won't even get it now because if that rumor is out there, I think it's all fixed anyways, so they won't even get it.
Kind of like how the Rangers got the number 1 overall pick that one year. It's like, what a shock, New York. I mean, but hey, there's always rumors that they handed Sidney Crosby to the Penguins. That's what the stupid rumors are. So anyway,
well, look how that turned out. He didn't win his second cup until how many years later?
Which is funny because the final 2 teams were Anaheim and Pittsburgh for us for the Sidney Crosby sweepstakes. So I don't remember what I had for breakfast this morning, but I remember where I was when they had the Sidney Crosby lottery. That was exciting. I remember.
I could care less.
Okay. Anyway,
I couldn't care less.
Couldn't care less. Yeah, that's the proper.
Yeah,
that's the proper thing to say.
Probably doing something productive with my life.
Well, I don't. So there you go.
I don't never cared about the draft because you know what? Players don't always pan out, right? I mean, Pavel
but
wasn't even drafted, and he turned out to be one of the best players in the NHL. So,
Yeah, that's true. And a lot of times when they say, just because you get the number 1 overall pick doesn't mean you get a good player, but they are saying that this Bedard is the best prospect since Sidney Crosby or since McDavid. So
McDavid, yeah,
we'll see.
Then again, Connor McDavid, he's closing in on 100 points this season, which is insane. But then
you mean like right now?
Oh, well, where's all his Stanley Cups? And it's like they're making Edmonton Oilers fans are like, oh, where's his Stanley Cups? People are saying it's like individual points are dope, but this isn't an individual sport. So
yeah.
I love hockey. I love trash hockey. It's my
especially during the playoffs. Oh, it's so much fun.
The best.
So we got an easy game. It's at home. Okay, fine. We're gonna get right. We're gonna play a lousy team. It'll be fine. And they start out okay. They start out first 5 minutes. Everything's cool. They go out to a 1-0 lead. We're good
with our boy Zucker.
With our boy Zucker, he is. God, he is just. He's
been on fire. He has been on fire.
In every measure, he has been like energy. hitting, scoring, everything. And you know what? It's not just him. That whole
Literally.
second line, is
Yeah,
beautiful.
no,
So
they've been great.
so Zucker scores about 4 minutes into the first period, and Henrique ties it. And then after like the first 5 or 10 minutes of the first period, and that's it. It's like they stopped. It's like they stopped playing. Henrique scores to tie it up, so it's 1-1 after one. The only goal of the second period was by Malkin. Cool. So we have a 2-1 lead going into the third period against a lousy team. Did they keep that lead? No, because that we don't do that anymore.
You know who we're talking about?
Yeah. We we give up 4-goal leads. What do you think we're going to do with a 1-goal lead? Come on. Klingberg scores with 11-16 at 11-16 in the third period, and then at 15:40 Zegras scores, and it's now 3-2 Anaheim with about 4 minutes left. We're losing to Anaheim at home. Now, okay, John Gibson is from Pittsburgh. Okay, whoop-de-doo. Yes, he's a good goalie. Maybe he played well, blah, blah, blah. You don't lose to the second worst team in the league at home. It took an empty net goal. It took a 6-on-5 goal with 25 seconds left to tie the game, to take it to overtime.
A piece of me died that night.
Oh,
that was brutal. And that was another game that we couldn't score a 5-on-3 on a 5-on-3.
That's true. That's true. No confidence by almost everyone. Well, hesitant.
I noticed that Sullivan moved Carter back over to wing. And we had Jonathan Gruden. I don't know if I'm saying his name right. Yes. 22-year-old player, first game, with first NHL game ever. I hated it. I know Gruden, brand new player, nerves and all, slotted in the fourth line center. No, if you're so tight end and playing Bluger in the third line center, drop Carter to the fourth line center, put Gruden on your wing, left wing, whatever. McGinn, put Kapanen on your. Sorry, I'm so hung up on the lineup, aren't I? You know what? I really should be their coach, or at least I should be like Sullivan's like assistant. Like, just let me do the lineup. I'm so good at this. Yeah. I know I have my vision. Like, but you guys already know that. So, what? I'm coming. Anyways, we went 0-for-4 on the power play. And I got distracted there, but yeah, so I'm going to just continue what I'm saying here. Aside from the first two lineups, O'Connor, Bluger, Kapanen, okay? And then you go Gruden, Carter, McGinn. Why not?
And
then you could slot.
Well, that's another thing. That's another thing. We can't put Carter on the fourth line because it might hurt his feelings.
We need to retire him.
The thing I've heard over and over and over and over again is top six is not bad. The bottom six is a disaster. And Carter is the cause of all of the problems in the world. He is the worst player ever. And he should be.
I know he's the reason why there's world starvation.
I heard he caused COVID, but that's just.
You know what? Okay, you know what? I can't. You know what? I Carter was an LA King when I was a Shark, and me and Carter, we just don't like each other. Okay,
see, there you go.
We have a personal vendetta. He knows it. I know it. But Carter was very instrumental. He was important to us. A little bit. But
yeah,
he's done. He's the only thing he's good for right now is face-offs. But for some reason, Sullivan doesn't think face-offs are important because nobody on our team's good at it anymore. Nobody.
That's a problem.
That's a big problem because unlike some experts in this industry, they think face-offs aren't important because it's okay chasing the puck rather than moving it.
You know, I don't know the advanced stats, but almost every stat person emphasizes possession. Possession is good. How do you get possession? Well, you win that face-off. It really helps. So yeah, I'd say face-offs are important.
But those people that speak about possession are people that actually played it, and these other experts have never actually played hockey, and they think, oh, okay, you know, we'll just chase the puck into the corner and we'll have a little scrum and hopefully the puck slips out and we'll get it. It's also like some of those people that think because Brian Dumoulin was on the ice, it's his fault that the Penguins only got 6 shots on goal.
Sure. Yeah, he's holding the sticks. Those shooters want to shoot, but Dumoulin's there just holding the sticks. Like, no.
To a certain degree, I understand there is a little bit of fault, but it's not the Pen. Okay, we'll get to that game. I'm getting ahead of myself. Back to the Anaheim game that you were lucky enough to go to, that I couldn't make it. I didn't have enough time.
You're just a hop, skip, and a jump from Toronto to Pittsburgh.
I would have just hopped in my private jet and I would have been there.
You Uber. Just you could have Uber down.
We had 16 errors in the game against Anaheim. 16.
Ooh.
That's 14 missed shots and 12 turnovers.
Oh gosh, yeah.
So Carter was one of our biggest. Gino was our second biggest. Error makers. Yeah, my vocabulary's really gone to crap. I gotta stop watching the Penguins and start reading more. I'm blaming you guys. It's Pittsburgh's problem. But yeah, we need to be better.
Another thing about Gruden is Gruden was in there, but Heinen,
he didn't make any errors. He just didn't really.
He didn't play much either. He only played.
He had 2 hits, I think. I tried to pay attention to him, but like bigger fish to fry.
Yeah. He played 7 minutes, which was easily the least out of everyone. Everyone
Yeah, he had
else.
2 hits.
And
1 takeaway.
He
won 1 face-off. So
he
slot him in second.
He was brought up, and yes, he was technically the 4th line center, but
bad idea.
Heinen is a healthy scratch, and basically Heinen's
probably gone. I think Heinen might be gone.
Oh yeah. I was just gonna say that. Yeah, it's when you're. I mean, not that there's tons of injuries. I mean, there are a lot of injuries on the 4th line, Archibald and Paling, but what? Yeah, him being a healthy scratch just says a lot. Yeah,
and it's funny too because Heinen is one of our more or less like when I went through, like, I know he wasn't the most productive, but he made the least amount of mistakes based on his ice time. I don't know. I think there might just be a bad. I don't know. It's all speculation on my part, but I don't think he was given a good shake. I liked Heinen. And I something's just off there, and it's unfortunate to see. I don't like it. Because there's other players on the team I wish weren't on the team.
When you anger the coach, then then you're not going to play. So he did something. He did something to make Sullivan angry.
Okay, for example, Gruden, he won 1 out of 5 faceoffs, whereas Carter won 6 out of 9. Like, give me a break. It's his first game. Slot him on the wing. Put him on the wing. Like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, ease him in. Don't make him a center. Yeah, I agree. Don't make him a center. Anyway. So then we get to the game last night in Ottawa. Another team that not last in the Atlantic, but near last. Gosh, what happened in Montreal? God,
I don't know. Ottawa, we made Ottawa look elite. I thought they were like, I was like, okay, so Ottawa's in the top 10, right? Overall, right? They got to be,
No,
right?
no, they're well, heck, they're not even they're second to last in the Atlantic. They're
They're
not good.
25th.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not, but the Penguins made them look like a top 10 team. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Their power play was amazing. Their power kill, their PK was amazing. Their shot accuracy was great.
Practice makes perfect. When you have 100 power plays, you're gonna get good at the power play. This game was, as the kids say, a bleep show. It was a ref show.
Zucker was in the box before we even got a shot on net.
Oh yeah. I mean, Sullivan was, as they say, angry as anyone's ever seen him, because of the refs. He had to bite his tongue, and even then he said, he still had some things to say about the refs.
I don't know. I don't want to comment on the officiating because it's been pretty bad for years. So blaming the officiating, it's kind of like, it's just
there was when they played,
a lot of calls go our way anyway. So like, what?
Yeah, we had power plays too.
What do you want?
It wasn't all one-sided. Penguins had power plays too. They scored on 2 of them, but Ottawa scored on 4 power plays. And the thing is, the Penguins statistically power penalty killing is actually pretty good. I think they were like 2nd or 4th in the league or something like that at one point. But
we were outshot over double.
Oh gosh, yeah. It was just, they say it was just a weird game because there was so much, there was so much penalty time. There was so little 5-on-5 time that what are you going to do?
It sounds like excuses to me. Ottawa was a better team, period. I don't care. The lineups were a mess. Again, Sullivan just kept the same stuff. We won barely against Anaheim, and Sullivan's like, okay, we'll keep it the same. And then that was my best impression of Sullivan. And then so he went with it again. Not a good idea. He doesn't want to bend on that. It makes me absolutely sick. It's not going anywhere. I'm gonna go look, and I'm gonna look at Sydney another night. 0 shots on goal.
Wow.
Yeah, he had 3 assists, but I think 2 of them were secondary. Which I don't even understand why there is such thing as secondary assists. I think they should all be assists. Whoever, I think it's just, the last person that touched the puck before the goal scorer is the assist. It's just all this cash grabs or point grabs at this point.
Sure.
No offense. But anyways, yeah, it's just like, fix him. Coach, fix your lineup, fix your captain. And yeah, and if like owners, fix your GM, get rid of him.
Yeah.
Also, I think Gino might be hurt.
Oh God, I hope not. Because he's actually been playing pretty well.
He's playing great, but he's not in shape. He's gassed easily. You see him on the bench. He's
That's bad.
It's not good.
That's bad. We're at the halfway point of the season. He's played almost every game.
Yeah, he's not good.
He should be in perfect game shape. So
he's on the bench. He's not that old. He's going to be 37 in July. So I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm guessing. Yeah, he's a year older than Sydney. Sydney will be 36. Yeah, he's going to be 37 in July. Yeah, he's tired. So up your anaerobic shape, get that going. Like, where's the trainers? Like, get them, like, Jesus. Like, they need to be working on their anaerobic stuff.
I heard Crosby after a game just does cardio, which is I don't know. I don't know if that's normal for an athlete or whatever, but that's it's pretty impressive. You play all game and then it's like, okay, let's go. Let's go hit the bike or whatever. I mean, or whatever cardio he does. That's impressive. But yeah, I don't know. How are missed shots and turnovers in this game? I'm afraid to ask.
25 errors.
Oh boy.
11 turnovers, 14 missed shots.
Oh boy. Yeah, I mean, yeah, 40. Ottawa had 40 shots. Pittsburgh had 19. And and the other thing about this game, their goalie, Ottawa's goalie is garbage.
Not last night. He was like all over everything.
I don't know. He gave up some weak goals.
Casey let in 2 goals that shouldn't. Like, Casey made a couple good saves. You know what? I'm not going to harp. I'm not going to jump on that bandwagon like, Dumoulin sucks. Casey sucks. Casey actually doesn't suck. He doesn't suck. Casey lets in some soft ones, but so does Tristan. But Casey last night, I'm just like, oh, I love you, dude. But what was that?
Well, the overtime goal was
like,
horrid. He's
like the puck comes and he's like, ooh.
Yeah. It's like, wait, what was that?
I can't defend you on that one, but I just can't.
Yeah.
But you know what? Aside from our second line, literally everything's crap.
Yeah.
Everything.
I agree.
And I put the onus, and I keep talking about Sidney. He is the captain. And I keep talking about how he's one of the best players to ever, future Hall of Famer, one of the best to ever lace up a pair. I will argue till I'm blue in the face that he's better, top 3 player of all time.
Okay.
And I will die on this hill, but he's getting older and he's still hungry. He wants more. He said it. Fight for it. Show me every night. Get out there and show me, because I know that this team is capable as long as they've got him on this team.
Yes.
But he's not showing me when he's not following through. Show it to me. That's why I'm watching. Is because I know what he's capable of. So show me.
Unfortunately, the All-Star break is coming up, but he won't have an All-Star break because
actually, the Pens have their break. If you look at the schedule, the Pens have their break leading up to the All-Star game. So they're off.
Okay, you're right.
Their last game is against San Jose at home on the 28th. So they're off January 29th, 30, 31st, February 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So Sydney will be in Miami or wherever it is. I guess Thursday, the 2nd, 3rd, 4th. So he'll have 5 days off prior and a couple days after.
Okay, so a little bit of a break. Okay.
Can you believe the All-Star game's on my birthday? It's like the worst. I usually get to watch hockey on my birthday.
What a terrible birthday present.
Like, I don't watch the All-Star game. I haven't watched the All-Star game since the 90s.
I saw something that I don't know if he was asked by it, but basically Crosby said, "Can we stop with this 3-on-3 overtime crap? Because let's just play a little bit more and have ties." Because
I love it.
I mean, it's not hockey. That 3-on-3 crap is just.
It's not. And a shootout even worse.
It's even worse. Yeah.
You can't determine a win from one player and a goalie. Like, it doesn't. It's especially championship games
I get it. Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, definitely not in the playoffs.
Like, when the World Juniors came down to a 3-on-3, I'm like, I hate it. Yeah, the World Juniors came down to a Czech in Canada.
Oh, that's terrible.
And I'm like, I'm watching it. And I'm like, I feel like there's not enough players on the ice. And I was watching with my mom. And he's like, yeah,
is the whole team
not something that's right here? And I'm
like, the whole team penalized? Is there what's going on? Check the penalty box.
Yeah, like I was like, they're gonna get really tired soon. And I'm like, yeah. That was brutal. I was
that is very weird that you would decide a championship that way.
But anyways, I'm just gonna go over the last 4 games for turnovers or missed shots. We had 41 turnovers in 4 games. That means 414 total for 44 games.
Almost 10 a game.
And our top 4 is Zucker. Gonna get it right because you're my
Zucker.
boy right now. In first place with 6. Second place is Dumoulin. I don't care what anyone says, Dumoulin. Last week, you had none. You're not our worst player. I don't care what anyone says. You played excellent 2 nights ago. Last night wasn't your game, but 2 nights ago, you were phenomenal. Don't go online. Don't listen to Penn's Twitter. They do not know what they're talking about.
Who is he
me.
with? Was he with Smith? Because it seems like that's a good
Smith for the last 2 games, and then he was with Friedman in Carolina, and he was with Friedman and he was with Smith when he played well.
You gotta love Friedman. The dude just
I'm not sold on Friedman too much. But last night he was something else though. Anyways,
he's a good agitator. That's why
he was just all over the place, wasn't he?
Yes,
he was all over the place.
But
anyways, back to Dumoulin. Don't listen. Don't sweat the small stuff, bud. And third place, you got Gino with 4. Of course, Gino's going to be there, but not hating on him either. Also, to get some rest, please. And then tied for 4th, we've got Friedman, Rust, and Gino with 3. Not Gino. Rust. Gino's in 3rd. Tied for 4th is Friedman, Rust, and Sydney with 3 turnovers. Now to miss shots, can you guess how many? In 4 games.
4 games. I would say 40.
50.
Ooh.
That's exactly the face I made when I was doing my calculation.
Ouch.
That's like me explaining to Pens Insider on Twitter what's wrong with the team. Remember last night?
Yeah.
That face exactly. I'm trying to. So in the 44 games we have had, by my calculations, 525 missed shots. So imagine we clean that up, how many goals we have.
Yeah.
How many goals have we had in total?
How many goals total?
Can you get that stat quick?
Yeah. I mean, I could while I'm getting that, how much do you think? I mean, the excuses are injuries. Your entire right side of the defense is gone. Letang, Petrie, Ruda, gone.
I don't buy excuses because we have other players that have made the NHL. I don't buy it. Are you these your excuses? Or are you saying
no? This is not my excuses. These are what the peeps are saying.
Nah, see, I used to be an athlete, and my coaches were like, "No excuses. I don't have time." My coach was Bulgarian, so my accent's a little off. But he's like, "No, Jennifer, get out on the water. I don't care."
On the water, I love that. Total goals, 142, which is 16th in the league.
142.
Yes.
Okay, and then we've missed the net 525 times. So that's pretty brutal. Clean that up. Shooter tutor. Let's go back to minor days, boys.
Tutor.
I mean, you know what? I'm gonna buy one and send it to Cranberry.
I mean,
from Jen, love from Toronto.
Valentine's Day is coming up. It's a perfect Valentine's Day gift. Shooter tutor, I love it.
Trolling the Pittsburgh Penguins since 2015. Okay, so in first place, we've got tied for first place from the second line, both Gino and Zucker with 8 each. Clean it up, boys. Okay, they're each getting a shooter tutor. It's happening. Second place, we've got Russ with 5. Third, we've got Friedman with 4. And fourth, tied for second, we've got Russ and Carter with 5. Third, we've got Friedman with 4. And then tied for fourth with 3 each, we've got Gensel, Joseph, and Sydney. I have noticed Sydney is not getting as many errors over the last few games, but also he's not been playing as well. So make more mistakes, get more involved. I don't care. I like the mistakes because you're just shoot the puck, please.
Yeah.
I notice he's passing more, like the lack of follow through and stuff. I don't know what's happening there, if like someone's getting in his head, but I don't like it. I know he's capable of a lot more than he's showing, and it's just painful for everyone to see. And I see a lot of comments, what's wrong with him? Lots, but you know, it's not what he's capable of, and it's time to see you know, an insurgence of Sidney Crosby. And the time's now. Based on the lineup, I can't do it anymore.
This team's broken. That's the thing. I mean, so I mean, I joke about the Anaheim game, but when you play a team that is the second worst in the league or near the bottom, you should have won that like 7-2. You don't barely win that and have to come together at the last minute in regulation just to tie it, just to go to overtime. No, you should dominate a team like that. And previous teams did dominate the bad teams, and now they can barely beat them. There is nothing good that you could get from that Anaheim game or the Ottawa game.
I turned the TV off. That was a loss to me. I'm like, Jake comes out. He's like, enough of this ish, and he's like, he shut it down. Jake like is my spirit animal in that overtime. He's like, nah.
Even in the overtime, that the only reason they got that goal was because right before that, Anaheim had like a 2-on-1 or a 2-on-0, and the guy was about to dish it to the other guy, and it missed, and then Sidney and Jake went the other way.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. You should dominate the bad teams. This team is broken.
We're in trouble. And if I can't keep listening to Sullivan say, I'm so proud of this group. Of what? Failure?
No.
I'm not. I watch people celebrate that win, and I turn my TV off. I'm like, that's a loss. Okay, 2 points. This, I've said it before. Regulation is a glorified exhibition. I don't care about our positioning. It doesn't matter. You need to win 16 in the postseason to win the cup. If we even make it to this postseason,
exactly. Just get to the playoffs.
That's it, right?
But
this season, the regular season is to fine tune our roster and our lineup. Sullivan is not executing his bench properly. He's not doing his job properly. People are talking, oh, Sullivan's job is on the line. And it should be. The way he talks, the way he's running his bench. And I mean no disrespect to Sullivan. I like Sullivan. I do, as a person. But as a coach, I'm starting to question his,
There are many aspects of a coach. You have to have the right system. You have to have a good relationship with the players, and and the line combinations. I think those are the three big things that a coach has to do. And I think the system might be okay. I don't know.
You have to be able to separate feelings from winning.
This team will not do what it takes to win. And when you have and when you had Jim Rutherford, this kind of crap did not fly.
Nope.
If they were on a losing streak, or if they played like crap, he would tell them. He would tell the press, they're playing like crap, and I'm going to make changes. I'm going to trade someone just because he did not accept how this game played. This GM, I don't even know if he's employed by the team. I don't even know if the Penguins have a GM at this time.
But the biggest mistake whoever brought him in was Hextall. And like you said, like we brought back Letang and Gino because, the three-headed monster, whatever you guys call it down there. No disrespect. I know I said that kind of sounded weird. The legacy of Letang, Gino, and Crosby. The legacy I care about is Sidney. But the legacy of the three of them is dying right now. It's dying. It's not happening because of Ron Hextall and Mike Sullivan. Something is not lining up here. And before it gets too late, something needs to be done because they're not getting younger. And I feel like we're like a broken record. Like I'm repeating myself.
We've been saying
ourselves
almost the same thing all
every week.
season.
Yeah. So what do we do? Like, do we we'll just keep saying it until something changes. We'll just keep saying it.
Well, the thing is, what is going to change? Where are they now? They're not in the playoffs right now.
They're not? Joe, I quit drinking. Don't play with me.
As of right now.
No, they are. They are.
They are?
Yeah, they're in the second wild card spot.
I'm seeing, is it it's not the Islanders. It's darn close.
See?
Okay, they are ahead. Okay, they are 1 point ahead of the Islanders. I must have some bad information. Okay, they're a point ahead of making the play, of being out of the playoffs right now.
Yeah, but they're dancing on that. Like I said, I still have hope for this team as long as they have a healthy-minded captain. So hopefully, okay, I've said this before, I'm not worried until after the All-Star break. Now, for some reason, the All-Star break, happy birthday to me, is on my birthday. So we've got 2 full solid months after the All-Star break for the Penguins to really get their crap together. So 2 weeks till that happens. I'm going to throw away these next 2 weeks thinking Sullivan is going to figure it out. I'm still hopeful as long as they have, hockey-minded Sydney saying, this is what I want. He'll get it together. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. But they're not winning the cup this year. It's not happening this year. Not with this team. It's not going to happen. But there is still hope. I'm hopeful.
I think when Letang and Petrie and Ruda come back, I think they're going to be much better. And yet the Smith isn't bad. Sometimes he's bad, but Jari is better in theory on paper.
I'm just glad Jari took more time off. Remember, we said please take your time.
You were saying that he looked hurt. That he even admitted it. He even said, "Hey, I'm playing hurt, you idiot."
I knew he was hurt.
Yeah. Like then what the heck are you playing for, you dummy? Yeah. So yeah. Take the time. Hopefully he's right. Not no pressure, bro. But the entire once again the entire season rests on Tristan Jarry, and hopefully he's not mentally messed up, or hopefully he's not hurt. But it's another problem. It's another thing about Hextall. You should have got a better backup goalie, because you've had 2 seasons now ruined because of the goalie, and you let that happen again. Jari is not. Who knows? Who knows if we can rely on him when it come playoff time? Who knows? We don't know.
We don't know because he lies about playing hurt.
Yeah.
It's been fun this season, hasn't it? It's been really high stress and fun. And they started so well at the beginning of the season. It's been like, oh yeah, this is gonna be a good year.
And it's only halfway over. We have 2 or 3 more months of screaming and stress
and laughter.
We will.
At least we make the best of it and we laugh instead of, we scream, we laugh, and then we cry.
Yeah, we do cry.
We do cry.
We laugh, we cry. It's we get emotional because we care. Unlike the general manager of this team, who we're not sure whether is he in North America? Is he on vacation now? Is he in the Bahamas?
Have we even ever seen, I've actually literally seen Rutherford in Cranberry in his office. I've seen Rutherford at PPG Paints Arena. I've never seen Hextall
I don't know.
in the wild.
Maybe-
I've never seen him,
Because
you know.
maybe he's in Philadelphia because he's still a secret agent working for the Flyers.
I would
Think
who
about it.
hired
Think about
him?
it.
Like what the,
Who kept him? We have a new owner and they still kept him. They kept him. They said, Hextall, give us your plan for the team. He's like, it's in my head. Bro. No.
I would have if I would have been like, I would have
Okay.
been like, no.
You're fired now.
One of our team's biggest rivals. No, that's been like someone been like, yeah. So LA, we're gonna hire Jennifer Chefero to be our head coach. They'd be like, oh, you mean ex Shark fan? No, no, we're not. Or like,
if you
Washington
worked
Capitals,
for the
we're gonna hire Jen
Kings,
Chefero to be our coach. They're gonna be like,
if
no.
you worked for the Kings, you would do your best for them. You would not try to sabotage them.
Well, I'm not a Shark fan anymore. So, and I mean,
Okay.
like, Joe Thornton doesn't play for the Sharks anymore. But I mean, like, if Sydney still played for Pittsburgh and Philly said, come coach for us, I'd be like, oh, that'd be tough. Cause it'd be like,
God, that would be tough. That would be tough if someone said I had to work for the Flyers or the Capitals or something like that. Like yeah.
but coaching, because that's my dream to coach
Right.
the NHL.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I'd have to have
You know what? You would actually love it. You'd love it. You say, wait, you mean I get this
coach again
in the same yeah,
and then if we went to the playoffs or like the conference finals and I got to beat you guys, yeah,
right.
I'd do it.
Right.
I'd beat you guys so good.
Anytime your team would play the Penguins, you would just tell them like, "This is the game of your life. It's a game of my life, but it's definitely the game. You play the best.
We cannot lose this game. We win. Everyone gets $5,000.
That's right. We're going
for ribs after.
We're going for ribs after.
Ribs and prostitutes. And your wives get prostitutes too.
Ribs and prostitutes.
I don't know, man. Yeah, no, I'd totally do it. I would do it. But you know what? It's business. But I still think, I don't know. It's just complicated. It's so complicated.
Okay. Well, until next time.
Yes.
Remember, ribs and prostitutes.
Ribs and prostitutes.
That's what I'm calling this episode. All right. I'll see you.
All right, Joe.
Bye.